Life Hacks Beyond Convention with Dee and Sonia.
Yeah, we had a lot of wind here, and the night before we had a lot of wind, and a friend's horse passed away
Oh no,
unexpectedly.
from the wind.
We don't know. He didn't have colic because she's working away and Pauline's away working in another direction. So they've got caretakers there, and he was upset because he thought he might have done something and he didn't do anything. So it could have just been a heart attack with the storm, or we just don't know. But it's the third horse to pass away like that in the last 12 months, just to be
It's a bit
dead.
distressing for everyone, isn't it? Because if you're away, you feel awful that you weren't there, and if you're the person being the caretaker, you feel awful.
Yeah. I went over there twice yesterday. I wanted to check if there was movement around the body to show, or the paddock to show if he'd had colic, um, in order to sort of see if we needed to do anything with other horses. And the caretaker had already mixed horses up so that they weren't distressed, and mine had gone off her tits because she's a Suki Lala. But yeah, there was no signs of. There's certain movements with colic, they roll all over the paddock. And so you can see that. With a heart attack, they do a certain movement usually, and it's the same as humans. They double up, but there's usually, like, you can see where they've fallen if they were standing, or how they've done that if they've been lying down. And so it just looks like either a sudden heart attack or aneurysm. So it's just,
What was the age of the horse?
he would have been 20 odd. Yeah, not real old, but yeah. Sad for the person who owns it is Pauline's family member as well. So that it sort of impacts the entire family as well. So yeah, very sad. So, and a little odd. I mean, if it was cheap enough to do, you'd have at least one of the horses autopsied to find out why, but don't have that kind of money. So
Well, do they have to go to town to get them autopsied, or can they actually do them locally?
I don't know. At the very closest, it'd be Claire, but I imagine it would be Roseworthy. And that's
Yeah,
just,
so
that's hundreds of dollars to transport it.
yeah,
Then you've got to
exactly.
transport it back. Then you've got to get rid of it, the body. So it's so cost prohibitive. So yeah, bit sad.
It is.
I've I don't think she watches my videos, so I can say I've taken some clippings of mane and fetlock, and I'm going to find some photos and just do a little memory picture
Oh,
for
that's
her.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've done that with mine, and yeah. So yeah, it wasn't very pleasant.
No.
No.
Who?
The caretaker found it yesterday morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So the horse was fine the day before and was fed the evening before and was fine. So yeah.
Yeah, totally unexpected.
Yeah.
It's hard when like when they're otherwise
Well.
yeah, well there's just no signs.
Yeah.
Like you didn't know they were unwell.
We mourn our dogs and cats hugely.
Indeed.
But horse people are severely attached to their horses. And I'll say severely because I can't describe the depth. Yeah. And I've got horses, dogs, and had cats and other animals. But the loss of a horse breaks more than just your heart. It seems to break your whole body. Yeah. Sort of an odd group of people in some ways.
Yeah. Well, the two horses that we had, I still think about one of them, not so much, I wasn't as attached to that horse, but the other one, Cheeky, I was. I still think about her and wonder, but I don't actually want to know how she's going because she was starting to get a little bit older.
Yeah.
I mean, she would have been about 21 or 22 when she was rehomed as a paddock buddy for another horse.
Or a paddock ornament, as we call them.
Yeah, because we weren't able to look after her properly.
Yeah.
And, but I think, I wonder how Cheeky, how she went, if she is even still alive or not. But then I don't want to know.
Yes, yeah, you don't want to go through that mourning process, sort of.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
yeah.
mm, yeah,
So she'll always be one of those. I never know what happened to her.
yeah. My because I was never allowed to ride as a child, so I didn't get a horse till I was an adult, and he was my first, and travelled all over Australia with me. And the sad thing is, he died under me of a heart attack. So it
Mm,
was physically and emotionally traumatic when it happened. But he
mm,
really had been my heart horse at the time. And I could not talk about him for 20 years. I could go and
mm.
lease another horse, but if I started talking about him, I would start crying. And
Yeah, okay, wow.
yeah. So, yeah. And then,
Mm,
and I lost Blaze a year ago. So, about the same time
mm,
as this one's passed away, different circumstances, but on the same property. When it comes to death, I'm not afraid of it. So, when I had to have my big boy put down, I spent the hours with him and I actually administered some of the drug because I wanted to be a part of the process. And my other friend can't be and actually two friends that I can't be anywhere near the situation at all.
mm,
They have to go completely away and all has to happen without them. Whereas I want to, yeah, I don't know where that comes from. I think it's a background in faith that I've had and recognizing that I believe that there's spirit and therefore I want to be a part of the process of the transference. Yeah, that's how I see it. Yeah.
So you see that animals have got a spirit as well as humans?
I believe they got a degree of, to the same degree, no, but there's an essence. Um, and I do believe it's possible that that essence is attached to us. It's part of us. Yeah, I don't know how to quite explain that. Um, I guess if you were looking at it from just a more modern view of spirituality, or manifestation, that we manifest the animals that are meant to be in our life, sort of thing, that sort of thing. So they are part of us because they're our manifestation to a degree. So we've Tony and I have always euthanized animals that have been hurt on the road. Well,
Mm,
I don't do the euthanizer. I stay with them until they pass. And
mm,
we've done it numerous times with different animals, mostly kangaroos, because often they get broken legs and they're wild. You can't catch them. You can't. Yeah.
mm,
So if they're severely dying, by law in certain states, you have to leave them alone and let them die that slow death. We don't believe in that. We don't believe in making them suffer. Tony knows how to um, sever the cord up high on certain animals because of he's had to through pet shops and other work. And so he will do that so that there's no pain and it's really quick. And
mm,
then I literally stay there until they pass. I sit there with them and usually touching them.
mm,
Yeah. And just stay there and go, okay, you're all right. Like, you're not
mm,
alone. Yeah. Yeah. That's just my process. So I've done it
mm,
when we've had to have animals put down, our own pets. And as I said, I did it with Blaze and asked if I could administer some of the drug.
mm,
And yeah. So
mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
we all cope with life and death differently, don't we? And grief, because it's part of the
yes,
grieving process, isn't it?
yes. I think
Mm,
for me that for him
mm,
with him it was a bit of a closure. And
mm,
yeah, being type A personality, I probably didn't cry for another 2 weeks because I've got, you know, and then I hit that wall where I
mm,
just go, okay, lose the plot.
mm.
Yeah, I still get choked up about it. So it's been a
Oh, I can
year.
imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
Yeah,
I guess
well,
it.
he was there through some difficult times of your life, wasn't he?
Oh heck, I don't
Yeah.
think I'd have had enough of a goal to get better or to improve from my MECFS had he not been there. And
Mm,
I fell sick 6 months after I got him. So
mm,
he was the reason I got out of bed.
mm,
Yeah, because the rest of my life was about other humans, just running around and fixing everybody else's problems. He was the only thing
mm,
that was for me.